before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order.
Really, a new world order can be created. It's a great opportunity. It isn't just a crisis. There's a need for a new world order.
A new world order.
Into the creation of a new world order.
Novus Order Seclorum, a new order for the centuries, for the ages, forever.
There is a chance for the President of the United States to use this disaster to carry out what his father, a phrase his father used, I think, only once, and hasn't been used since, and that is a new world order.
It's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad that you found my backup to Anna's Thoughts and Musical Parodies here at Anna Speaks Out. Thank you for being here. So about a month or so ago, I had this very enthusiastic raving review to share about Governor DeSantis of Florida on my main/original channel. Governor DeSantis in Florida is being an incredible governor as usual and has set the Floridians free of the mandates that could cause them to lose their jobs. I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit jealous and out of place that I live in California rather than in Florida right now. And I do hope that DeSantis runs for president for 2024. I would definitely vote for him. So yeah, that was that. He's always seemed like one of the best governors out there to me with all of the good things he has been doing lately. But I have to say, I'm just not so sure that I can 100% still stand behind all the positive things that I've said about him and 100% trust him anymore, because maybe a couple weeks ago or so, somebody who follows me on Instagram was cool enough to share this with me. From the Florida Senate website, Public Health General Provisions, Chapter 381. 2021 Florida Statutes. Public health advisories, public health emergencies, isolation, and quarantines. And it goes on to say on letter C of this outline, public health emergency means any occurrence or threat thereof, whether natural or man-made, that's an interesting little addition there, which results or may result in substantial injury or harm to the public health from infectious disease, chemical agents, nuclear agents, biological toxins, or situations involving mass casualties or natural disasters. And here are some of the main points of this statute. Ordering an individual to be examined, tested, vaccinated, treated, isolated, or quarantined for communicable diseases that have significant morbidity or mortality and present a severe danger to public health, which is actually not the C19, unless maybe if you're elderly and have serious underlying conditions, but yeah. Individuals who are unable or unwilling to be examined, tested, vaccinated, or treated for reasons of health, religion, or conscience may be subjected to isolation or quarantine. Examination, testing, vaccination, or treatment may be performed by any qualified person authorized by the state health officer. If the individual poses a danger to the public health, the state health officer may subject the individual to isolation or quarantine. If there is no practical method to isolate or quarantine the individual, the state health officer may use any means necessary to vaccinate or treat the individual. Any order of the state health officer given to effectuate this paragraph is immediately enforceable by a law enforcement officer under S 381.0012. And here you can see that it was approved by Governor DeSantis in 2021. So yeah, that's pretty intense stuff there, and suddenly Florida is not seeming so much like the land of the free that I had thought that it was. I mean, for now it seems like it is, but it just makes me wonder if there could be some kind of like bait and switch plan in place. You know, it just kind of makes it look like that. So that's pretty crazy. Let me know what you think. And I also just recently learned that Washington State is doing the same type of thing. And they are considering putting C19 on the same level as AIDS, HIV, tuberculosis, and rabies by adding it to their existing Chapter 246-100 WAC. But thankfully, and very importantly for anybody who lives in Washington State, there's going to be a public meeting this Wednesday, January 12th from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. that you can attend and have your voice heard at. They'll be discussing such things as procedures for isolation or quarantine, conditions and principles for isolation or quarantine, and isolation or quarantine premises. And on that last topic, part of what they are proposing is any person entering isolation or quarantine premises with or without authorization of the local health officer may be isolated or quarantined. Persons subject to isolation or quarantine and persons entering isolation or quarantine premises shall obey the rules established by the State Board of Health and the orders of the local health officer, and failure to do so shall constitute a misdemeanor consistent with the provisions of RCW 43.20.0504 and 70.05.120. And here's the hyperlink to use to access the meeting on Zoom, or there will be a phone number to call for listen-only mode. So yeah, if you are a resident of Washington State, I would strongly suggest that you try to join in on that meeting and try to make a difference in this crazy situation. Also, as you saw in the intro to this video, I put a little reel of different, government officials and people talking about the New World Order. And the reason for that is it seems to me that it very likely could be the case that this whole C19 situation has been leading up to ushering that in, because, the government officials are responding to it with very strong control measures, unlike I've ever seen in my life before in response to really anything in the United States. And, besides maybe 9/11, but that still didn't seem nearly as extreme. And to my knowledge and understanding, the whole purpose of the New World Order is to bring about one world religion, one world currency, and a one world government, where a small group of, elites, as they are often called, would be in control of the entire world. One example of what leads me to believe that is that Klaus Schwab, the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, was quoted as saying on the World Economic Forum website, "The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world." He also co-authored this book, COVID-19, The Great Reset, along with Thierry Mallory. And as of now, it has about 2.5 out of 5 stars, which I found kind of humorous. And in the description it says it talks about what changes will be needed to create a more inclusive, resilient, and sustainable world going forward. How C19 has created a great disruptive reset of our global social, economic, and political systems. The book looks ahead to what the post-Rona world could look like barely 4 months after the outbreak was first declared a pandemic, which is, a little bit like jumping the gun, like maybe he already had these ideas. Who knows? And history has shown, the book argues, that pandemics are a force for radical and lasting change. So yeah, these are just some very important things to be aware of, especially if you live in Florida or Washington State or one of the other states that has been doing these types of things. Please let me know what your thoughts are about all of this, or if you have any further insight, and I will see you around in the next one. Thanks again for finding your way over here. I'm so glad you made it. Since you liked the video enough to make it all the way to the end, don't forget to click the thumbs up and share with some other people who would also find it interesting. If you really loved it and would like to support what I do here, check out the link in the description for several different ways that you can do that. Thanks again so much. Have a wonderful night, afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time zone you are in, and I will see you next time. Bye.